Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Enlightened World Network. This is Gratitude Happy Hours Thankful Thursday. I'm here with my co-host, Karen Palmer, and we brought in our chanting family to be with us today. Hi, everyone. I'm going to ask Karen, first of all, to say hello, and then if we can go around and have everybody introduce yourself and tell who you are.
Hi, I love being here on Gratitude Happy Hour and Thankful Thursday. I feel so grateful for our beautiful chanting family. And it's so fun to have everybody here together. There have been so many miracles that have happened in the 60 days that we've been chanting together. And I just want to thank you, Teri, for having the space in your heart for us to co-create another amazing and beautiful way to help raise the levels of love and light on the planet. I just am so grateful for you and all the things we get to do with the animals and with the children and with all the our beautiful human family. I'm so happy and grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Me too. I'm very grateful for this family. Who would like to introduce yourself?
I'm Marianne Cindy. I've been chanting probably the whole time, and I love it. I've been going on live, and I love how it makes me feel. I've chanted before. I've went into groups, and this is really nice to come together and chant together.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm Jean Lorio, and I'm with Teri, Karen. I'm so grateful for this chanting family, and I'm grateful that we are giving the gift of chanting, and that we are learning about all the gifts that come from other cultures and other ancient beliefs and philosophies that are leading us really into the new order that I feel that's what they're doing.
Thank you and welcome, Jean.
Namaste, I'm from India and I have been chanting Namyoho Renge Kyo since last 21 years now. Both my parents used to practice, and I've had some amazing experiences in my 21 years of journey. It's a wonderful organization. In the US, it's called SGI, Soka Gakkai International. In India, it's called BSG, Bharat Soka Gakkai. So I have been, it's a real honor to be there with Teri ma'am and Karen and all of you. And I'm blessed to have you people in my life. Thank you so much for being there.
Me too.
Welcome, Prachetta. We're so happy you're here.
I guess that leaves me. I'm Charlie. I live on Long Island in New York, and I've been chanting, just started with this group probably after it was going for like a week or two, and then I got involved, and the change has been phenomenal that you feel in yourself and your life from you're just so happy and everything, and no, it's been really uplifted my life. And thank you, Teri and Karen, for
we giggle a lot, don't we, Charlie?
Exactly. Thank you.
We do a lot of giggling. We do a lot of giggling. I'm so grateful.
Thank you for the opportunity to, for this to happen.
Absolutely. Welcome, Charlie. Oh, what a wonderful family we have. And we come together every night. Every night at 9 o'clock, we are on Zoom together. And we broadcast.
That's Eastern time.
Eastern time. Thank you, Charlie, for that. And you're in Eastern time, so thanks for that reminder. And we broadcast over Enlightened World Network, and we're also on YouTube. So you can find us and chant along with us, or even come into our wonderful group, which is Chanting for Change, and come join us. on the Zoom. We want to expand it. But what we want to do here today is give gratitude, first of all, for the way these chants have affected us. How have they affected each of us? For myself, it's been miracle after miracle. And as I go into those chants, I do it like all day. It's like I start my morning with it, I end my day with it. And I have noticed such a difference inside. That's been the huge change. I've noticed that I'm more resilient, that when things happen, it bounces off a lot quicker than it used to. It used to really penetrate and I would like hold on to the energy. Now it's like, no, I'm not going to hold on to any negativity. And these chants are beautiful at breaking through barriers and then helping us to find our real self inside. So that's the biggest change I've noticed is in myself, being able to really handle life better just by this one change in my life. This one activity has brought me to a better place in my life. It's also helped to open up some doorways for me by removing those obstacles. And I can see my path so much clearer now. I hear the messages more clearly and know exactly where I'm going. So I'm just really thoroughly enjoying the journey, every step of the journey, and what this has brought to me. And I'd like to hear from Karen next, because Karen, I know you've got some real testimonies about how this chanting every day has really changed your life.
Well, first, and honestly, I just want to take a moment to go into our heart. I want you all to feel so deeply how much I appreciate each and every one of you and how much I have felt you all during these challenging times, in miracle after miracle happening, and really helping me to stay in the truth and to believe that with courage and strength that was within me, that it was always there, and that could help my dad, that could help my sister, that could help my husband, that could help my daughter, that could help my dog. And all these miracles, it just kept happening over and over and over again. And I just kept trusting and falling into the flow of the current of that Nam Myoho Renge Kyo feeling of the mystic law, and just knowing that there was something bigger happening than I could see myself and my human self. And so just as this happened, you know, I was going to start chanting just by myself. First of all, I just planned on, I mentioned it just in passing on the phone to Teri, just as a friend to a friend, telling her about what was going on with my dad. I had some really big healing issues, really big forgiveness that needed to happen with my dad. And I didn't think that it could happen. I honestly, at the time when I started chanting, I was so angry. I was so hurt. I was so lost and felt so betrayed. And even though I knew that it was an illness, it was still like the little girl in me was like still just wanting her daddy and just wanting her daddy back and just wanting things to just be back to the way they used to be. And chanting helped me to really see him as his true nature, as his true self, beyond the appearances. And Prachetta helped me so much with that, and really helped me to embrace the chant itself, saying if I would chant 1 hour a day, I would really see a difference. And so I would always chant. I chant for like almost 4 hours a day now. And so it just regularly, it's just a regular thing for me now. You know, I'm out with puppies. I have moments out in nature where I'm just constantly in that feeling of just, it's like a flow. flow. And when my sister and I were in disagreement about my dad and how, well, maybe I should go into a little bit about my dad. So my dad was an incredible musician. And my dad was the person who really helped me hone my gifts as a musician and helped me to believe in myself, but also was a big part of the insecurities in myself because he was an alcoholic. And he was very up and down with his approval and his disapproval, and he left, and I felt abandoned at 10 years old. And so I had a lot of issues with him. Fast forward to where we are now. We healed a lot in that time. Like, we healed a lot of the issues, but then, you know, sometimes we hold things in and we don't really express what was suppressed. And so it starts to come up in other ways. And so when my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and they said that he was progressively getting a lot worse very quickly, I was still singing with him every day, and I was talking with him every day, and I felt like he was okay, but I was still noticing that I didn't feel safe for him. I didn't feel he was safe living by himself. And so I voiced that to my sister, and I voiced it to my dad. And my dad got very angry and was, you know, and told my sister, who's the proxy, the health proxy, that she better not, you know, try and put him away or anything like that, and that he was not going anywhere. And then he started falling and he started hurting himself. And I was still saying, I think he needs help. I think he needs to be in a place where he needs to get help. So again, my sister was the health proxy. And so while we were chanting, all of this was going on. And I was feeling more and more courageous and more confident in my position of saying, I don't feel he's safe on his own. I just don't feel he's safe on his own. And finally, he did, you know, end up going into a memory care facility. And the professionals said, he needs to be, you know, he needs to be in a care facility. He needs to be here. And so my sister signed the papers, and he is in a very beautiful place where he's being taken very good care of, and he's not angry at all anymore. And he's happy where he is. And I'm just learning how to accept what is and be grateful for each moment that he does remember us. And that, you know, that I do get to talk to him, and I get to talk to him on Zoom, and I get to talk to him on FaceTime, and I get to talk to his nurses, and I get to talk to his, you know, activity director. And so that was a big miracle. That was a huge miracle. And I was terrified of him living by himself. And, you know, and chanting helped me to feel strong enough to really voice that to the people who needed to make that decision. And then thank goodness, and thank you for everyone who was chanting with me, because the professionals stepped in and said, this needs to happen. And so during that time and during the chanting time, all of the old hurts and all of the old resentments and all of the old things that I was so upset about and that I really felt needed to be discussed and needed to be talked about just kind of floated away like clouds. And we, you know, we really have done some special expansion for our planet together. So I just want to thank you all so much for being there for me, for chanting for my daddy and for chanting for me and for my sister and for all of us to be able to be a happy family again. It's wonderful. And I cherish every moment that he is able to communicate with me. And I'm not worried about the past anymore. It's over. It doesn't touch me, has no control over anything but my mind. And I have control over my mind now with the chanting.
And I think it's important to state, Karen, that when we chant, we set intentions. So as we're doing the chant, whether it be the one to break through barriers and remove obstacles, or it is the other chant we do, which connects us more with who we are and brings that connection out into the world, we set an intention. So every night when we chant, we do that. We set that intention before we begin. But I know individually, as I do the chants myself, I'm setting an intention as well, which could be the same as our group intention, or it could be for things I need in my life. Like I know that you were chanting specifically about that situation with your father, and you saw that breakthrough and you saw what came about with the chanting. So I'd really love to hear other testimonies as well. If you've set an intention and something happened, or going into our group intention, if you see a difference, if you're noticing a difference in the world, I'd love to hear how this has affected your lives. Not everybody at one time, please.
I set the same intention to remove any blocks, anything that I'm not consciously aware of, that might be hindering me from having a good life. So that seems like such a good intention to just remove any blocks, that we know about and that maybe we don't know about. So I guess we could use it for different things. Teri, what have you used it for? Just different?
I've used it to remove abundance blocks. Sometimes we go into that energy of lack. We perceive that we don't have things, and we perceive our abundance is coming from beyond us, that it's something that's going to happen, to us. So I've really broken through that mindset by using the Om Gangana Pataye Namaha, which removes obstacles. So the obstacles that needed to be removed were inside of me. It wasn't anything out in the world. It was my mindset and my just breaking through that illusion that there's not enough. And it has helped me turn that all around and just see that everything that I need, I have. So that's been a big miracle in my life, to break through the lack mentality.
It's even broke through for me, just everything with the coronavirus, focusing on that, focusing on the good instead of, turning towards, thinking bad thoughts about it and, the coronavirus and what we can't do. I feel like I'm looking at it in a better way, with a better point of view. It doesn't seem as heavy as it did. It seemed so heavy in March and April, and it seems to have lightened.
That's why I started really chanting, was I thought, well, this is a good way to help our world right now because of what's going on in the world. And I was totally shocked to find out how much it would mean to me. The first one, the Ogam Ghana, the block to remove all blocks. I've had so many blocks that were from things that happened in the past. And I knew they were there. It wasn't like Marianne that, we may not know them. I knew they were there. And I've been wanting to grow spiritually, and I know those blocks have been keeping me from doing that. So that has helped me remove those blocks And once those blocks were removed, then the Nameho Renge Kyo chant was like a gift. It was like, I mean, it fills you with so much joy and really and truly the connection between everybody in the world, that you feel that we're all one, we're all a family. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. But it's also put like a blanket across my life of happiness. It's hard to explain. I feel like my family's protected, I'm protected, my home is protected, my heart is protected. It's just amazing. I want everybody to feel this way. Everybody.
And I love how Teri leads us at the end into the heart coherence, so that after it's like everything's been, settled in, we've cleared everything, and then we tuned into our true nature and our true self. And then we bring that all together in the unified field in our heart center, in our heart. And then we coherence it throughout the entire world. And I think that has been, when Teri takes me home, I am so grateful, because I love our time together. And, I just feel like every night we were only going to do it for 40 days because that was just what I did with the other chanting group. But then Teri and I, after the first couple of days, we were saying, I don't think I'm going to want to stop at 40. And here we are on 61 today.
It was like you with the forgiveness, because it has to do with my dad too. And he also was an alcoholic. And, but what I realized, it wasn't that I have forgiven him. We had an encounter after he died, and I know he loves me and I love him. But I had to forgive myself.
Me too.
But what happened with the chanting and what has been spiritually growing with me is I realized there's nothing to be forgiven. I'm okay. There's nothing to be forgiven. And it was just an amazing thing, freeing thing for me.
Yeah. It's the same with me, with forgiveness. Had to learn to forgive myself. I had to learn to love myself, ever since my wife passed, and getting over the sorrow and everything. But yeah, it's just so happy. Makes you feel so joyous. You're thankful for everything. So much gratitude.
Carly, I know you lift us up every night because we feel the love that comes from you when you're doing those chants. You go to a whole new dimension. It's like, where's Charlie? He's out there.
Well, I am in another dimension, so.
Yeah. But it's just beautiful. So we have much gratitude for you.
Yes, we do.
Besides,
In fact, the president of our organization, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, says that the heart is the most important. So everything begins, like if you don't have it in your heart, how outwardly you might show that you are compassionate or you are loving, it doesn't come through. So everything, as Teri ma'am says, place a hand on your heart. Even in the morning cup of chai, we place a hand on our heart. And it is the heart-to-heart connection. Otherwise, I sitting here in India, and you people are there in the US, and it's very mystic how I found my fairy Teri ma'am. So it's really, really mystic. And I think I owe it to Namya Horenge Kyun is called the Daimagu. So I owe it to the Daimagu, which I have chanted for so many years, that when my mom passed away and I was looking for an emotional anchor, I got somebody who was sitting miles and miles and miles away. Me and Prachir both. Like now we wait for 5 o'clock in India to see our fairy Teri ma'am's face, because practice is absolutely wonderful. And in India, we've set an intention that by November 18, which is the founding day of Sukha Gakkai International, COVID has to be removed from the face of this earth. And we are chanting 18 million Daimagu in 4 months. So my group, which is a group of say 27 people, have been given a target of 6 million Daimagu in 4 months. So that comes to approximately 2 hours a day, which includes children also. Because our very strict this guidance which we've got is that COVID has to go and normalcy has to return. And India, fortunately, I think they're on the second or third round of testing of injections for COVID. So that is the intention which has been kept by the organization here. And the first prayer is praying for a harmonious family. And it is not, they say it is not by chance that Karen had a father who was an alcoholic. It was her karma, her mission to change it and prove the validity of the law. So when we chant, it's a mystic law. And when we chant and have experiences, we are proving the validity of the law. So that is the beauty of this.
I'm wondering,
Yes,
could you, Pachetta, could you possibly go into a little bit of information about the good fortune and how good fortune works with the Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and how the mystic law works with good fortune?
Good fortune is like, if I explain it in a very simple manner, years ago we needed to go to the bank to get money. But when we are chanting, now we have the ATMs and we have money in our mobile phones. So Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is that good fortune which goes into your house of karma. So when we practice Nichiren Daishonin's philosophy, we have to practice in 3 ways. One is faith. You have to have faith in the mystic law, practice for oneself and for others. So if Karen has a problem and I'm not chanting for it, then I will not change my karma. So when I help others, then I'm able to make that karma change in a faster manner. So good fortune basically is all the good karmas collected by chanting, by helping others, and by studying Buddhism. So when you need, so it's a like if it's an emergency and you need good fortune, the good fortune comes. Like when Teri ma'am got very sick, I got very worried about her when she had the stomach flu. So I was chanting hours and hours that she has to be, I gave myself a date that by this date, this thing has to be resolved, and it was. So that is when the good fortune, you accumulate good fortune by having faith, by chanting properly, by having the right manifestation while chanting, by studying, and by helping each other. And that help can be the person could be practicing Buddhism, or it could be somebody in your family or in your neighborhood. And I think the maximum good fortune comes when you introduce this practice to other people, because that's how you're spreading happiness. Kosen Rufu is spreading happiness, peace and happiness in this world. So that's how you accumulate good fortune. Because otherwise, when we live in a normal day, we tend to say lies also. We tend to shout at people for unnecessary reasons. We we do a lot of things which we are not supposed to do. So when we start chanting, we start getting more aware of what we should do and what is right and what is wrong. And then we are able to think, like if we want to shout at somebody, we'll think for a minute that should we shout, or we might reason out with that person. So that's how you accumulate good fortune, which is also accumulating good karma. Karma is made by thought, word, and action. So if I'm thinking something bad about somebody, I'm forming a karma. If I'm talking ill, even in front of somebody or behind somebody, I'm making a karma. And if I'm doing some wrong action, I'm making a bad karma. So that is how you accumulate good fortune in your life.
And Nam-myoho Renge Kyo does the clearing of the karma for 7 generations before us and 7
And
generations
7
after.
down. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you explain that a little bit more?
Nam-myoho Renge Kyo means, Nam means namaskar. Myoho Renge Kyo means I dedicate my life to the law of cause and effect. So everything has a cause, everything has a beginning, and everything has an ending. So because we can't be doing that kind of donations or social service, we are busy, we are lay people, we're busy people in our own work, in our own environments, families. So when we chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, we are accumulating that good fortune. We are telling, we are promising. It's the mystic law. And we are bowing to the mystic law of cause and effect. So when we are doing good causes, like Karen, in your case, you were concerned about your father and you were doing that good cause. You wanted him to be in good hands and you were chanting. Then the environment started, helping you out. The environment started, your sister started helping you. You got the right doctors, you got the right people. Your dad started cooperating. Everything started working in one particular direction, which was for the betterment of your father. You got the wisdom of going to the right places, talking to him in the right manner, convincing your sister in the right manner. It was all Namyoho Renge Kyo working in your life. Because Namyoho Renge Kyo is also the other name of wisdom. You tend to get, it comes very mystically. You tend to get a little wise. You can tend to get patient with things. You don't rush things. And the best thing about this practice is that you can master your mind, not let the mind master you. Because when you master your mind, then you are able to think in the right direction. So what we call blocks, like if we talk about blocks, like we can think of our body or our life like a very old pipe lying in a garden. And when the water of Namyoho Renge Kyo is thrown into it, it clears all blocks. So
It's
if you
just like
imagine,
in yoga, we practice pranayama, and that clears blocks in our body.
yeah,
So the breath can do the same.
pranayama, yeah, Namyoho Renge Kyo, because we are repeating it again and again. Like we do the Om mantra in yoga, we repeat it again and again.
Mm-hmm.
So Namyoho Renge Kyo is also like when we are repeating it again and again, we are putting it as an intention in the universe, and the universe starts helping us, and we are becoming better human beings. We are doing a human revolution. So from an angry person, we'll start getting angry at things which like we'll fight for justice for other people. We'll work for animals. So instead of just going for fighting with other people in our family, we will channelize our energies into the right path. So Namyoho Renge Kyo gives you a lot of direction. Like my father in 2007, he had a disease called motor neuron disease, which is the disease of the nerves. Like it happens to 1 in millions of people. and the doctors told us in the hospital that he will not be able to walk, he will not be able to eat, you'll have to keep a male nurse for him. And it was just me and mom at home because my brother Prachir was posted at a very sensitive position in Kashmir. So then he only, my father was a practicing member. He used to chant. So he told me, he said, why do you worry? None like this will happen. And I will enjoy my life till the last day. So otherwise, he was supposed to be on bed, totally paralyzed. This was the scene which the doctors gave us. But when my entire group started chanting, and I was chanting, my mom, my dad, I, so he lived till the last day of his life the way he wanted. He went for movies, he went for dinners, he went out shopping, and there was no paralytic attack. And just one fine day, like he was in the hospital only for one day and he passed away.
Good.
So I think that's the passing away of both my parents without no ventilator, no running left and right, no pain, has been my biggest experience from this philosophy. Though
That's
it's
a bless.
saddening for
It's a blessing.
I feel the loved ones who are no longer in their physical with me while I'm chanting too. I feel their energy. I feel the Buddha's energy. I feel Nichiren very strongly. I feel Nichiren Shonin very much in everything I'm doing right now. And I feel and thank you so much for sharing those books about his adventure with the children's books. I didn't know there were already books about him. So now I can use those to share with the children here. So thank you so much for sharing that with me, because you know what I've noticed is that when we begin this journey of the human revolution, it affects all the generations before also. It feels like there's so much healing that has been done in my family of old wounds that were there. And can you talk a little bit about that, Prachetta? Because it's like magic. I feel like the chant itself is like magic, and it really takes care of so many of the issues that we as humans in this human revolution have to face.
Basically, the first prayer is prayer for a harmonious family. Because if like a family is the smallest unit of society. So if we are not happy within our own home space, we cannot spread happiness. So the most important thing, that's why they say 7 generation up and 7 generation down, because this practice is practice of discipline. Even the children who practice, like normally a child of 5 starts practicing, if even the children who practice are called young adults, and their opinions also matter, and their energies are channelized. There's so many meetings which happen, there's so many like you have study material which is there. And if you go to a senior leader, like a senior leader can be a person like you and me. If you go to a senior leader and you say that my boss is not good, so the senior leader will tell you, please chant for the happiness of your boss. Your boss is, the senior leader will say, the boss is perfectly okay, there's something wrong in your life. That is why, because you are the cause and the boss is the effect.
Yes.
So when we talk about mending relation, we have to first look, this Buddhism makes you look inward. Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism says you first look inward where you are lacking. Try to improve yourself. Because if you start going out looking for to make people correct, it is impossible. If I have to correct Prachit for some reason, might be able to because he's my brother. But in case I have to do it in office, nobody in the office will like me to correct them. So I will have to look into my space and see where I have to improve myself, whether it is my language, whether the way I'm doing things. Only then that relation will work. And when we don't let it affect us, the moment we don't let a particular person affect us, that means we have changed the karma. And then either the person will change or the person will go away.
And that's absolute happiness, right?
That's absolute happiness. Absolute happiness is when you're happy just being alive.
And what is
You don't
relative
need
happiness?
relative happiness is I want a house, I want a car, I want this much money in the bank. So that is relative happiness. But but that is also like your daily things are enlightenment. If I don't have a comfortable house, I will not be happy in one way, because I need in India where the temperature goes up to 50 degrees Celsius. So that is approximately more than 120, 130 degrees Fahrenheit. If I
Wow.
don't have an AC at home, I can't chant. If I don't have a particular car, I can't go to distances. But why do I want that car? Whether I want that car to just have fun, or whether I want that car to take people for meetings. What is the object? Like most of our meetings are held, like our meetings in my group are held at my house. So when we were praying for a house, we were praying, okay, it should be comfortable. It should be able to accommodate 30 to 40 people. There should be a lot of meetings. It should be very forthcoming. It should be in a nice location. And then everything got manifested and we got a beautiful home.
Wow.
So I think the most what I like about this practice is that it makes you meet people, and then you become, all of a sudden you become eternal friends with them.
I think that's happened here, hasn't it, with our chanting group? We look forward to coming together every night. We love seeing your faces when you come on with us and knowing there's people in the audience that are also coming in, not to Zoom, but coming in to chant with us. And we have some of those that are in the audience. Carol Allen has joined us in the audience, as well as Hope. And we know that they come in, usually Gabby, who's in Australia, comes into the audience and chants with us. So it does help you to develop a bond with each other. That's one of the benefits of it.
And we were chanting for Gabby's daughter when she was ill, and we were chanting for Hope when she was experiencing ailments. And it was incredible when we were chanting for Teri too. You know, I felt so much upliftment that was coming in her direction. And then when she was just all of a sudden back and everything was, she was all better, and you know, there wasn't any COVID, and she just had the stomach flu, but she was going to be better. It was just it felt like a miracle again, that, you know, it felt like and I was so grateful. And I realized that in that time while that was happening, you know, I was holding that vision with everyone who was chanting with us, and I could feel and the same thing with my dad. When we were all chanting for my dad, I could feel it was almost like floating on clouds and just being so comforted and so nurtured during those times. And I just want to say thank you again.
Oh, absolutely. And me too, because when you all were chanting, and I knew that you were chanting for my health, it made such a difference. And the recovery went so quickly when that happened.
Yeah. You're never going to get sick again because I chant. No, because I play that recording every morning for Karen chanted for you. So she's chanting for you every morning, whether you know it or not.
Thank you to all who lifted me up, because it makes a huge difference. Wendy's watching with us in the audience, and her husband chants. She said he converted to Buddhism 2 years ago, and he told her about a lady who had cancer, and she was told there was no hope for her. She chanted many, many hours a day and is well now. So there are so many miracles that we hear of like that happen. And yeah, it's just incredible. It's our intention, what we put in. Just like when I was sick, it was intended for me to do well.
We had 16 cases in our local senior center of COVID that were in a memory center close by us. And our district division started chanting, and we just were chanting, and all 16 of those people recovered with perfect health. And so I really believe that, like what Prachetta was saying, when we trust the cause and effect, and we trust the mystic law, and we trust that what we're chanting is, on its way, and we trust that there are the Buddhas that are guiding us, and there are all of our loved ones who are no longer in the physical who are guiding us, and there are, all of these angels that are guiding us, and we just need to show up and chant, and like Prachetta said, if we chant, like she told me, if I chanted 1 hour a day, that would make a huge difference. And so I've been chanting 4 hours a day, and I've seen incredible difference. But it's not like I do it as even like an obligation. It's a joy. I absolutely love it. I'm skipping around while I'm walking the dogs. And I swear people must think I'm on something or something, because I'm just nam yahoing and I'm writing all these songs while I'm singing and while I'm, just chanting. And I love putting this all to music and bringing it all together as a way to bring this to children. And, I'm just excited about all the ways that we can share this joy, and how, we'll be sharing this with millions more people with the Peace on Earth games. And, opportunities are just happening every which way for us to really amplify this message and this hope for our planet.
Absolutely. And I just want to just reiterate what Prachetta said, that we are chanting to end COVID by November 18th, and chanting 2 hours a day is the goal and the challenge. And I'm going to take that challenge. So I'm in.
I'm in.
Yay. And also, Karen, you mentioned the joy that comes up when we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Let's talk about that. We don't have much time left, but I'd like to hear from those in our chanting family. And what happens when you chant that particular chant? What happens inside? What do you feel when you chant it?
I'm like up in the sky, and I think Buddha's with me. So somebody's with me there. I'm just, it's crazy.
I feel very peaceful. I get yoga brain. I'm just like very, very peaceful.
Yeah, I'm out in the clouds.
I get like giggles. I just feel like all these giggles rising up inside of me. And sometimes I can't even keep them in. I have to let them out. But I mean, I feel the joy of youth. When you were a kid and you were free of all the worries in the world, and you just enjoyed your life, and you enjoyed everything, and you just laughed and loved all day long. If your father wasn't around. That's the way I feel.
It's just like to let go. Like, yeah. It's really wonderful.
It's freedom.
Yeah, I would say eternal freedom and that absolute happiness, and just really like giggly and joyful, and just more lighthearted about everything. Like the things that used to bug me and bother me so much, if I just bring it to my Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, if I just drop it into the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, like instantly I feel like I've, surrendered.
Yeah.
And surrender is not a bad thing. Surrender, like a lot of times people feel like that's giving up, but surrender to me is just melting in to the trust of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and the trust of the mystic law, and the trust of cause and effect, and realizing that I am the common denominator in everything going on around me. And if anything is out of balance, that I can bring myself right back to center, and Nam Myoho Renge Kyo centers me and helps me to center in, and I'm just so grateful for it.
Yeah, it really does that. And how many times have we been chanting it, and we'll see each other start to laugh or giggle because it does.
Karen cracks me up.
Yeah, it bubbles up inside of you. You know?
I can't even look because I'd be.
I try not to look at Karen. She cracks me up.
I'll try to be more sober.
Yeah, right.
No,
I can't even think of Brown without smiling.
More if I was looking at Karen.
I go through all the mudras. I gotta dance while we're doing it.
What is it you do like this?
I gotta make up songs after we're done. A song will come through, and it's just, I'm so grateful.
Yeah, you do a clearing, don't you, Karen, with your arm?
That's Kundalini yoga, what I'm doing. Yeah. Actually, I'm a Kundalini yoga instructor too. So what we're doing is we're clearing with that. And then when we're doing this, we're clearing the root, the heart, when we go in front like this. And we're letting that all be cleared out of us that's when we do Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So we're clearing out. I always set the intention that we're clearing out anything that is not divine love and light. So everything that wants to come up that needs to be transmuted, I feel just starts to kind of bubble up.
Beautiful. Well, one of our audience members, which is Wendy, says, I'm in, and I would do it as long as I can as I work. So she's taking the challenge 2 hours a day to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And I love that there is an app, the SGI app, and you can put that on the chant and just chant along with it. And
the SGI app is free. You can get it.
It has a timer that tells you how long you're chanting, how many of the repetitions you've done. It's beautiful, and it is free.
And it's fun, and it has beautiful quotes from Sensei, and it has beautiful quotes from Nichiren, Shonen, and the Goshos. And I highly recommend everyone go to sgi.org and sgiusa.org and learn more about this organization, because it's a whole millions, 14 million people all over the world chanting for happiness and peace for everyone else and for themselves. And I mean, what a world we can have if everyone really understood this power, this strength, this incredible experience. And so Teri and I had the opportunity, we talked about it and we said, let's bring this on Gratitude Happy Hour. Let's bring this on Thankful Thursday, because we just been chanting for 2 months straight now. And let's talk about the miracles. I mean, my dog was, they thought she was going to have surgery. They were telling me that she, would probably never walk the way she used to. She's running around, she's back to herself. And I feel like every chanting opportunity that we have, that we went through in those 60 days, there were so many miracles. It's like, just incredible. My relationship with my grown daughter, the communication levels that expanded because of this. And she's like, what's this stuff that you're chanting? And it seems like you're so much happier, Mom. And can I learn a little bit about that? And I'd like to know a little bit more about that. And, so I told her that there's a place up in San Francisco and that she can maybe make some new friends up there. And she's open to that. So, it's like, you don't know where the shakabuku is going to happen, right?
Right.
I went to the SIG. SGI. And I couldn't find a place to join. I could read about it. There were a lot of pictures and everything, but I kept looking. But you know me, I'm kind of technology handicapped, but I couldn't find a place to,
I can help you with that, Jean. We'll just set up another Zoom call, and I'll walk you through it and help you to show you how to do it. And you can meet the lady who helped me, Carla, who helped me get started, who's my division, the leader in my division. And she wants to meet Teri too. So
can't wait.
We can set up a Zoom, and I'll walk you through if you'd like to join.
Sure.
I got it on my phone, but I don't know where to find the chant.
To sign up, you go to sgiusa.org.
No, I already have it on my phone.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom.
To become a member.
Of the screen, Charlie.
I see it says chant, but it comes up as a timer.
Well,
yeah, and then you just click.
Yeah.
Right, and then you push the play button right there. The second button in that has the play button.
Push play.
And
Oh, there you go.
Oh. I love it.
You chant for the last couple of minutes.
Well, I could try again then.
Yeah.
Karen, I request if you can introduce Teri ma'am, Jian ma'am, Marianne, and sir to meetings, because they love the meetings and they love the energy. Because I think there also you must be having online meetings only, because in India we are only having online meetings because of COVID.
Yes.
So if they can attend the Zadan Kai, so I know they will love the Zadan Kai, the discussion meeting which happens.
We have one coming up. Yeah, I'll invite you all to that. We have one coming up.
Awesome.
So then they will know how the organization works. And there is Gosho are the letters which Nichiren Daishonin wrote to his disciples. So in one of the Gosho he's written, which is called Happiness in This World, suffer what there is to suffer, enjoy what there is to enjoy, but continue to chant Namyoho Renge Kyo.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, this has been so amazing. I can't believe it went that fast, and we're at the end of the show already. And our beautiful Hope is in the audience. I know we chanted for Hope and have been lifting her up in prayer with the physical struggle she's been going through lately. And she says, thank you all for sharing. It was so inspiring. And Hope, you inspire us. So thank you for coming into the audience today and watching this. And to all of you who watched it. And please share this out. Even after we're done talking, you can share this information out. This was good information and beautiful sharing from all of you, our chanting family. We love you so much. And you can find us on Chanting for Change on Facebook. Come join us. Come join
Yes,
in.
come join us.
Yes, Puchetta has given beautiful information on there. We break down the chants and what that is all about, and sharing information about SGI and how you can get more involved. And then join us every night as we do the chants, or as often as you can. And thank you all for tuning in today.
And Hope's been such a champion coming in and chanting with us at 2 o'clock in the morning where she is. And I just want to just acknowledge Hope and let her know that she is always, when I'm chanting, I'm always thinking of her and Gabby and her family, and noticing Carol Ann and you know, all of our beautiful, beautiful chanting family. You know, I've been so blessed to get to know all of you, and to really, I want to just acknowledge Marianne and Charlie and Jean for being so committed to coming in every night, and really it's become such a joy to spend the time with you, and I'm just really wanting to, in this moment of Thankful Thursday, and Prachetta, of course, how beautiful for you to come and help us to understand this more. I mean, I only started chanting since January, and to me, it's changed every aspect of my life. Every aspect that I could have possibly asked for help with has been helped with this. And it was like more enhanced when you came into my life, and when I learned from you. And thank you for all the beautiful posts that you post in the Chanting for Change, and thank you for all the wisdom that you share with us, and for helping us to be the best possible potential that we can be as humans. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are all eternal friends, practicing in our previous life, this life, and next life also. So that's what Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism says. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We love you.
Blessings.
Love this family so much. Oh.
There's so much love here. It's just beautiful. Just feel that. I want everybody to just feel into your heart. And just feel that energy of love. This is the place we go to every night when we chant. Go find that spark of the divine that's inside of all of us. And we connect through that. We see the thread going from heart to heart, and feel the peace. We feel the love. We feel the bliss of just knowing that we're all one. There is no separation. Let's just hold that for a moment. Hold that thought. So beautiful. You are all so beautiful. We are all so beautiful.
Oh my God. I felt like the Wizard of Oz. I was melted.
I know, right? So let's end the show with just a namaste, y'all.
Namaste, y'all.
Namaste, y'all.
Thank you all for being here. I love you all so much.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in 3 hours.
3 hours. We'll be back online. So check it out. Bye,
All right.
I'm gonna hang up the phone.
Yeah.
Now it should be able to hear you, correct? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hi, Michelle. Hey, I don't know if you're trying to speak with me, but I can't hear you yet. We don't have the audio working correctly. I can't hear what you're saying. Hi. Call who?
So Maya, do you want to try? Sorry about this, everyone. You want to try and get in again? Did you unmute yourself?
I think you asked me to. Yes, I did unmute myself. Do you want me to log out and try to get back on?
Sure,
Okay.
I do.
Hi.
Okay, so you still can't.
Here.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, no, I can't hear you.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of an issue. You can't hear me, and you also can't
Hear myself,
talk.
and I can't talk because I don't know what you're saying.
All right, let me try something else.
I've checked on. There's nothing different on the system. I checked to see. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Well, I have you on the phone, so hold on. I closed all my other programs in case that was a problem.
We got it.
Hi, can you hear me, Michelle? I can't hear you. don't know what to say.